All right. Hello and welcome to today's Judson University webinar about our $0 out-of-pocket tuition program. Thanks everybody who's joined us so far. My name is Sparky and I'm going to be hosting our time together today. So just really quick, what are we here to talk about? Like I said, it's about Judson's new $0 out-of-pocket tuition program for our undergraduate adult-focused degree. So we'll dive in a little bit deeper in terms of what that's all about. We're going to discuss who qualifies in terms of, and part of that's going to include us talking about the MAP program through the state of Illinois, as well as Pell Grants and FAFSA and all that good stuff. We'll talk about how to apply to Judson and find out whether you qualify. And also who can help you. And I'll give you a clue. One of the biggest people that can help you is right here. So Tanya White is an executive enrollment coach at Judson. So I've been with Judson for more than a decade, and she's really been focused on these exclusively on these adult degree programs, including the programs that qualify for the $0 out-of-pocket tuition program. You may know her as Tanya from Tanya on the Third Floor because she hangs out at the Rockford campus, and that is her, and that's her spot there. And so Tanya and her team of enrollment coaches are all about supporting prospective students, helping them get through that application and enrollment process, and especially answering questions about this particular program. So we will have time for Q&A at the end. So if you have a question as we proceed through what we have to share today, go ahead and use the Q&A icon. Just click it at the bottom of your screen and then type in your question, and then we will get to those during our Q&A portion. So you don't have to wait for the Q&A portion to start for you to go ahead and submit a question. So with that, I'm going to turn the time over to Tanya to get us started to talk to us about Judson's new $0 out-of-pocket tuition program. Tanya.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sparky. Yes, so wonderful news and updates with federal student aid. And thanks to the state and federal funding options that we do have available, students can now, achieve their goals in one of our undergraduate programs with being able to have a $0 out-of-pocket cost as they are funding their education. And that can be in our Associate of Arts program or any of our four Bachelor of Arts programs as well. Yes, so who qualifies? If you are an undergraduate student who has not completed their first bachelor's degree yet, you qualify to be able to fill out your FAFSA and see what your financial need is. So Illinois residents are able to potentially qualify for federal Pell Grants, as well as the Monetary Award Program, which is what MAP actually stands for, and that's right from the state of Illinois. Wonderful. So what is MAP grant? It is the Monetary Award Program, comes directly from the state of Illinois. You have to have a financial need as determined by the FAFSA. So of course we know that the FAFSA information goes on our from our tax information, and you have to be enrolled for at least 3 credit hours per term and remain in good academic standing. The wonderful thing about grants is it's money you don't have to pay back as long as you're successfully completing your classes. All right, and then Pell Grant. So this one is provided by the federal government. Again, back to the demonstrating an exceptional financial need as determined by the FAFSA. When you fill out that form, you are given an EFC score, your expected family contribution score, and that is going to be what helps determine your financial need and eligibility. The maximum amount of funds you can receive for the 2022-2023 academic year is $6,895. All of funding you do not have to pay back as long as you are successfully completing your classes as a full-time student, which would be a minimum of 12 credit hours each semester. All right, so how do you apply for this $0 out-of-pocket program? It's easy to figure out your eligibility for this. So step one, we're going to have you fill out your application for admission. If you haven't already, there is a link right there on the screen for you. Once you finish your application, or if you've started one, you'll want to make sure that you get that submitted. And we also want to get some official transcripts for any completed credits that you have completed so far. And then we're also going to fill out the FAFSA together, and you want to make sure that we include Judson's school code so we have the ability to access your information. So FAFSA literally just stands for your free application for federal student aid. You're applying for loans and grants all at the same time. It's going to be based on tax information, untaxed income, other assets. And I know that sometimes it can get a little confusing on that FAFSA, and that's why your enrollment coaches are right here to be able to help you through that. Sometimes students only do them once a year. We tend to do them at least once a day. So we are here to help answer those questions as you go through. All right, so when will you find out? It's always good to fill out that information and submit it and then have to wait forever. No, our financial aid department, as soon as we have that application submitted to admissions with those official transcripts, then our financial aid office is able to pull up your information. It shares into our system, and they are able to give us that additional information for your eligibility for federal student aid. All right, so if you have questions, please reach out to your enrollment coach. We can help answer some questions for you, help you through requesting your official transcripts, and so much more. If it's something that we can't directly answer, we know who the people are to get you in touch with to make sure that you are getting all of the information you need. And there's some contact information on there for you, unless you are already working with an enrollment coach, and then feel free to reach out to them directly. All right, so here's the big thing. Why earn an undergraduate degree, right? As you can see, I'm not going to go through all of the chart here with you, but essentially when you are applying for jobs and you are looking into those next steps for career opportunities, as you can see, the higher the level of your education, the better opportunities that you have for salary as well as employability. So you definitely want to make sure that as you are looking to grow in your career, grow in your salary, grow in personal ways as well, moving further in your education is something that can definitely help you along with that. All right, so why should you come to Judson? We have curriculum that meets the needs. Our program directors work directly with local companies. We are out and listening to what the needs are for companies that are hiring for the different career areas. We have program chairs who work directly in the areas that they are overseeing for their degree programs. And we are making sure that the academics as well as the experience that's being brought into the classroom is relevant for today, and that you are learning what is going to be able to be used tomorrow in your work setting. One of the things that you will do with your enrollment coach is when you are discussing making some changes in your life and taking those next steps for your education, there's going to be some obstacles that come up, especially as an adult student, and making sure that we are addressing and kind of pre-planning, being proactive with some of those obstacles. One of the great things about being here at the YMCA is we have free childcare on your night of class. So sometimes it can be hard to get to the classroom, maybe a one night a week when you've got kids at home, different responsibilities there. And now you have that ability to be able to bring the kids to school with you, and they are in a safe environment. And then you're able to be that student for that class night. You can also spread out your weekly assignments. At the very beginning of your class, you get your syllabus, and it has all of the requirements for that class that you need. And you're able to see, even putting those dates to a calendar, to know what assignments are due when and when you need to have that additional time to focus on school. If you're having some challenges with some subject matter, we have our Student Success Center on campus locally in Elgin, but also some online options too. You can work with your success coach and tutors. If you are experiencing some financial instability, we have a fantastic financial aid department that will work with students on a one-on-one basis to be able to help with what is best for their situation. If you have some health conditions or challenges, we can definitely get you in touch with the right people to discuss potential accommodations when they're needed. And if you're new to college, we're going to help you walk before you run, right? So we're going to help you with getting into the classes on how to write papers, how to do research, how to do and build the skills that you need as you continue further along in your degree program. How do your enrollment coaches help you? Well, we're going to talk to you about your past experiences, whether it's work related, whether it's previous school related, what were some of the challenges that you saw, and maybe now, why is now a better time for you to be able to go back to school? We're going to talk about your lifestyle and maybe even what is your best learning style. Is it better to be face-to-face? Are you close to a campus? Is online going to be the better option for you? We're going to talk about your career and education goals. And then we're going to help you walk through the enrollment process, which will include both the admissions process and the financial readiness process. So we're going to be able to answer your unique situations and help you find solutions for that. And then also make sure that we have gotten your checklist of things completed, because there are definitely things that can be hard in life. Getting admitted into a degree program and getting started in college shouldn't be one of them. That's why we are here to help you with that process. All right, so when it comes to financial aid, we're going to help walk you through the FAFSA. Clearly we cannot answer the questions for you, but there are certain areas that we can help you look up the information to make sure that you are putting in what is most accurate and walk through the options. And we can also discuss responsible borrowing. I have to admit, this is one of my passions. I will tell all of my students, do not put yourself in a financial situation to be frugal and now you can't afford books, but also let's be realistic about what you actually need for funding to be able to pay for school, because school costs beyond tuition, right? We want to make sure that you have funding for books and the supplies that you need to be successful, but we also want to make sure that you are paying attention to how much you need versus how much is available. Outside of your enrollment coach, you are also going to have your success coach that is here to help you through the process. So you spend a lot of time with your enrollment coach at the very beginning as we're doing admissions and financial readiness and getting you ready for that first class. And then you will have a success coach that is going to stick with you all the way through to the end of your program. It's also going to help you navigating the Judson support systems. If you have unique situations that come up as you are going through your degree program, he can help direct you to the best way to find some of those solutions, and also making sure that he can help you establish some clear lines of communication with the Judson faculty. We can also work with you, and your success coach will also help you set and achieve your long-term goals, making sure that you understand how do we connect what we're learning in the classroom to our career. Also, developing those problem-solving strategies, right? And being able to think through the different things that come up and what options do we have available, finding solutions, and then really being able to celebrate your accomplishments. I can't tell you how exciting it is just to be able to be a part of commencement ceremonies and see how wonderful, knowing the challenges that my adult students have gone through, to walk across the stage knowing that they have completed that first step or that second step in their education, or they continue to move forward with just bettering their lives and their families' lives and things like that too. All right, and your success coach is also going to help you stay on track. So he's going to be checking in with you regularly. Your enrollment coach may continue to still check in on you regularly. It's going to help you make some corrections as necessary if there's something that comes up in your schedule. And then also if there's something specific that he can't help you with, he can definitely get you to the right resources to be able to help you with any of those challenges that come up. So what's next? Well, classes are starting very soon. We are fully into our fall term here, getting ready for our next groups to be starting. So to qualify, we've got to get those applications finished up and those official transcripts submitted so we can get everything to admissions. And then also completing your FAFSA with Judson's federal school code, and to make sure that we get at least those items done so we can know where you would be with federal student aid eligibility. So, and there's some more of that contact information below there to be able to get in touch with an enrollment coach if you're already not working with one.
All right, awesome, Tanya, thanks so much. And again, we've put the link to our online application and our email address and our phone number there in the chat as well, so you can take a copy and paste that real quick, put it in a note somewhere, jot it down, so that way you've got it at the ready. So if you join us a little bit late, that's perfectly fine. Just click on the Q&A icon at the bottom of your screen to submit any questions that you have about what you've seen so far, just any other questions that you have on your mind about Judson. And Tanya, just while we're waiting for other questions to come in, and I know we talked a lot about the kind of support that students can expect at Judson, but just anything else that you'd add in terms of what besides the possibility of $0 tuition out of pocket, what else do you feel sets Judson apart and makes it a great place for adults to pursue their degrees specifically?
Yeah, I would say our practitioner faculty are amazing. A lot of times they're leaving their workday and coming to teach that night face-to-face, or bringing that experience into a classroom, even in an online environment. So they're not just talking about what's in the textbook, they're able to actually bring it to life and how they're experiencing it and being able to make those connections. I would also say even the networking among the classmates, as well as with the instructors and the program chairs. And as far as resources, I mean, even if you're an online student, if you live close to the Elgin or Rockford campus, you still have the opportunity to come in and use the computer lab, to meet with somebody, to be able to get assistance with different things, or maybe even just a quiet place to study. So we know that not everybody can make that 1 night a week commitment when it comes to the classes, depending upon work schedules and things like that. But that doesn't mean they can't be part of the Judson community and be able to take advantage of the resources that are offered on campus.
All right, fantastic. Thanks, Tanya. You know, you mentioned earlier, you know, in talking about enrollment and success coaches and just the thrill that comes from seeing a student finish their journey and cross the stage to get the diploma. Is there a particular student maybe you have in mind who overcame who overcame a particular challenge when it came to their degree, and just kind of how Judson supported them, and how that person was able to, yeah, just overcome that obstacle and achieve the kind of success that they had hoped for?
Yeah, I will tell you that there are definitely, there are some names that come to my mind when I think of, you know, just the different things that happen in their life, right? Because we're adult students, and it doesn't mean that the rest of our lives stop just because we start going to school. And I can think of certain situations that maybe some family health situations that came up, or maybe their own personal health situations that came up. But to see them fight through and make the decision that they're going to finish, that they are taking, some of them take some breaks, but they make it a break that they know that they're going to return on. So they know they've got the end goal in mind still, as opposed to just quitting on their program and quitting on whatever is happening. And to be able to see them walk across the stage knowing that it wasn't just a simple journey from start to finish, right? Because we all know the shortest distance, right, from A to B is a straight line, but we also know the reality is, especially for adult students, that straight line doesn't exist. It is definitely up, down, all over the place, and it's watching them make the decision to keep moving forward, as opposed to kind of hanging out in that space of, this is really hard. Well, that's when you reach out to your people around you, because we can do hard things together. And even as an enrollment coach, I know that there's a lot of things that I can't physically do as much anymore once a student is further along in their program, but that doesn't mean that I forget their name or that I forget their story, because I'm here on campus, and I like to be able to see them, whether it's using the resources here on campus or still in the face-to-face classes, at least 1 night a week, being able to keep up with, you know, the changes that are happening in their family, whether they're having babies or getting married, or, you know, all of the different things that are going on with them, new jobs, promotions at jobs, things like that. All very exciting to be able to see how continuing their education has positively affected them and the people that are around them.
Awesome. That's all great, Tanya. Well, I haven't seen any of the questions come through, so kudos to you for explaining everything well enough that folks didn't have questions. Classes are starting soon. Again, we're in the midst of fall term, but it's not too late to take advantage of this offer. So again, if you've already started your application to Judson, finish it up. If you haven't applied yet, apply at judsondegree.com/apply. Complete your FAFSA, get in touch with an enrollment coach like Tanya. We're here to help you take that next step. And so if you happen to think of questions afterwards, give us a call at 888-330-6704, or again, visit us at judsondegree.com. There'll be a form there where you can fill things out. Any last words of advice, Tanya?
Yeah, Sparky, one other thing I wanted to make sure that I added too is one of the unique things is we don't have an application fee for students when they are filling out an application. So there is typically no cost to somebody who fills out the application, as well as we try to request all of the transcripts for you as well. There's a form that you would fill out for that. There are a handful of schools that don't allow us to do like a third-party order, but then we do have the ability to reimburse students for that cost once we receive the transcripts. So we really do try to take all of the extra work out for the student and be able to do that for you guys, and to be able to help partner with you through it, as opposed to just expecting you to figure it out on your own and pay application fees and pay for transcripts, and do all of the work yourself and then hopefully hear from somebody down the road. That's not how we work any of this stuff. We're very hands-on and making sure that we are setting those follow-up times that are right for you, for us to be able to make sure that we are getting you through the process and prepared to be successful from the beginning.
All right. Fantastic. Thanks so much, Tanya. So again, one last time, give us a call, 888-330-6704, or visit us at judsondegree.com, and we'll help you take that next step. So thanks to you, Tanya, for sharing your expertise with us. And thanks to all of you for joining us today. We really appreciate you spending some time with us. Hope you have a great rest of your day and week. Take care, everybody.